We're good. We see
Okay.
we got everybody. Hey
Yay.
everyone. Cat's
Okay.
still shittling, so I'm gonna welcome you to Third Eye Salon.
Yeah.
Here we take the reins back to Cat. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I just to
Okay.
watch myself. All I can see is myself right now. And you know what? I'm gonna spend some quality time talking to you, looking at myself. And I feel good about that. So, hello everyone. It has been, I have to tell you, this has been I'm in a coffee shop, so I'm going to talk to you covertly like this, so you can hear me without all the hubbub. I'm at Harney Street Coffee, or Hardy. No, Hardy Street Coffee in Benson. By the way, I want to give them a shout out. They're amazing people, great coffee. So thank you for them. Um, yeah, this is Third Eye Salon, where each and every show we take a fresh look between the veils of reality, and today we're looking between the veils of tech issues, and we're just wow, we are like doing a tango with those tech issues, but I think that we are now solid. And I'm just keep your fingers crossed that there will be a point where I will be able to get out of this screen and go back to my normal screen. But so we're going to be talking today to our live stream. So please do share this out. Now that we have this, it's in all the awkwardness. Awkward has been my theme for the last week and a half. So if not life, but like so we're gonna if you would just not if you would share out that link for us to the people so they can join the live stream so we can do readings. We are going to open up the conversation to support you in whatever questions you have. And I wanted to let you know um, we're going to touch into one of the reasons why we on our cover, our original cover, we'll have to reuse that cover since it's not on this one that's showing out right now. But it's because there's been a lot of controversy, or I would say fear and worry and concern over the LGBT community, specifically our friends in the trans section of that LGBT, where uh, there's been a lot of, I think, fear peddling that's been happening. And, Jason and I are gay, and Lynda's been an ally for, probably most of her life. And I would think that in this place, we're not here to condemn and attack and judge anybody about how they feel about our community, but we are here to hold space and hold conversation and to talk about real feelings. And that's something that we're going to do more in depth next week. But I did want to share with you real quick. There is a nonprofit called uh, Queerarchy that I'm connecting with here in Omaha. And I was going to wear this T-shirt today because it says, you see that, right? Yeah. So it's just one of their many T-shirts, but they actually work with queer youth to support them in feeling safe in their emotions. And one of the big things I've seen, and my guides have been telling me, is that like these youth coming in that don't have a binary understanding. They don't understand binary. They're multidimensional. They're multidimensional kids. This work of being able to connect the queer LGBT, you can be whoever you are, you're safe, it's safe to be you. That's what this woman's doing with the LGBT youth. But we also see that in our Starseed family. We see the Starseed kids coming in who are autistic or just don't have the scope and range to connect with the rest of the world the way that we did it before. These are the new kids. We need to learn from them. So I'm going to be working with the new company for me to say, but it's a queerarchy, to just to support the kids. And we'll be talking more about that in depth next week. But hopefully, this has given you all time to share out the new link and answer any confusing questions about what the hell is going on and why does it say Cat's Meeting Room. But with that, Lynda is going to now. I'm going to toss the mic to Lynda for her usual banter on what is okay and what's not okay. Thank you, Miss Lynda.
Hi, everybody. You are so amazing that you crossed over across the technical veil to find us again on our new live feed. And I did capture your old questions, so you don't have to retype them. You're beautiful. And what I want to make sure you know, as always, is that I have one rule: play nice or get out. So it's simple. We have nothing but love here for each other. And I want to support you in everything that you are wanting to achieve in your life. And I want you guys to support each other. So be sure to put in, because this is going to be us doing readings, go ahead and put your new questions in. If you have new ones, I'll start with the old ones, because the old ones are wonderful questions. So we'll start there and then put a question mark or put the word question in there so that we can get started. And I'll be reading them, okay? So I'll probably do less pendulum stuff because I will, and try and do more on cards so that I can pay attention to the chat a little bit more. And if you enjoy this, if you want to work with us later on, our links are below. If you want to help Kat get another cup of coffee, buy him a coffee below. And he may need a lot of coffee today after this, guys. So, just saying. All right. With that, I am going to read the first question that I picked up. And if I've missed some or they're out of order, forgive me. But I will grab them. So I have the first one is so Lightning McQueen, may I get guidance to further my spiritual growth? That is the first question. So I'm going to let us all just chill for a minute and think. And Kat, when you're ready, I'll let you go first.
Oh, I just wanted to say, I also, like Jason has said before, the more specific, the better you answer. And maybe we want to say a little bit about how we all pick up from Lynda. Like, well, always we're mulling this into this.
Sure.
Because Linda's, Linda's got amazing clairaudience. she's got. I mean, she's really lit up. But we'll all speak to our own abilities. So maybe Miss Lynda, you want to start with how you work with your gifts, abilities.
Sure. So yeah, I'm clairaudient. I also sometimes am clairsentient, pick something up. If you're feeling something physically, I will pick it up in my body sometimes. And sometimes that's interpretive and sometimes that's literal. So I have to kind of watch that one. I also use cards and my pendulums that I make custom pendulums, but this is the one I usually use to actually use as a divination tool. So I pulled cards in this one to get the messages. And for everyone who's not familiar, I'm sure everybody on here is familiar with using those types of tools, but they're just all tools. It's our way of creating connection because we are all, including you, every single one of us on this planet, are antennas. Some of us are super towers. Some of us are those little rabbit ear antennas with foil at the end, but we still are all antennas picking things up. And these are our tools, and that's how I use mine. Jason, you want to talk about yours?
Jason, sorry, I was muted. Jason, please, yeah. Thank you, Lynda.
It's so hard. It's so hard to explain, like in all actuality. We have those terms, like, the clairaudient and the clairvoyant and all that, but it's just, I don't know, for me, it just all works together, right? Like I know, I see, I feel, I hear, but I don't know, it's hard to explain. It just is. Does that make sense? Like it just is in the moment. And I know that it's something, I know that the energy is different for me. So that's how I can distinguish it. Are these my thoughts or is it from an outside source? I'm sorry if y'all see me swatting. I've got cat hair flying. I've got a cat in my lap and cat hair is just flying all over me. They're like the ghost. But yeah, so it just all works together in some magical way that I'm able to interpret these subtle little nudges and split second. Like, I think a lot of people expect, like when we use the example, oh, I'm hearing this or I see this. It's not really, for me, It happens in a split second. And then somehow my brain processes and turns that split second into a sentence or a paragraph. It's not like I'm hearing them being like, tell them my name is John. I was a doctor. I died in a car accident. It's like, here's this spark, and then all of that is contained within, if that makes sense. It's hard to explain. A magical.
Well, it sounds like it's like a nugget of information that you get,
Yeah.
and then you unpack that nugget. It's like, and that's what we call this downloads.
Yeah, it's all about
you get,
interpreting.
Like
I'm interpreting it. I do realize that they'll, you hear people talk about the spirit dictionary, but they will use my experiences, or if they're bringing up someone and I have someone in my life with the same issue, the same name, like a lot of times they'll use that as a reference point to kind of tell the story. So yeah, it's just taking this and interpreting it the best way possible, and making a story out of it.
And I'll also say that Jason, I mean, he's kind of downplaying the obvious. Right behind him, he's got this painting he's working on. So he also channels people's ET extraterrestrial families, in via art form, and sometimes messages, sometimes not. But let's not forget about that. So I will say then for myself, all right, anchoring is settling down. That was a lot of energy to get the show moving today. I work with, primarily 8 celestial beings. I have one primary guide that I work with who sort of prompts me with information and material and guidance throughout the day, and who to connect with and when. However, when it comes to working with clients and working with people's energy, it really is unique and individual. So I do attunements where I work with energy to wake people's chakra system up to who they really are and connect them into their celestial family, and messages will come through with that. I will do readings as well, and sometimes I will use cards, and I've got cards that I brought today. And I use my defining rods, or I call them my attunement rods. They're basically as in telepathically talking to your people and my people and asking questions and feeling the information and interpreting it into words. Like Jason says, like you're taking something and you're giving it words and you're giving it context. So I'm taking energy that I'm feeling, and sometimes words will come with it, and then information will come through, and that will be presented. And I'm tuning into your energy while I'm doing that. So I'm seeking to see what is true for you and feel in alignment to you. And sometimes it's like I'm in the ballpark, and sometimes I nailed it and it's right on, but it's always working toward the thing that is in the right direction of the answer you're looking for. And oftentimes it puts it back into your own lap, because you're the one that has to manage the new material, and you're the one that has to decide how you're going to show up for yourself and how you're going to accept the challenges that you've created. But yeah, I work with a collective. We work as a team, and we love supporting Ascension Awakenings type shizzle. So here we are. Let's go. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Miss Lynda, do you want to refresh us with the question, or is there any other thoughts or feedback at the moment?
Now I'll go ahead and do the question. And so there's actually, I've had several that are very similar. So kind of pay attention which one we're getting. The first one is Lightning the Queen. May I get guidance to further my spiritual growth? Whoever's ready.
I'm always ready. I will say this also. I have a deck of cards here for fun. It's called the Rebel deck. They're described as quick, dirty, and direct. There is some language in them, but they're hilarious. So I did, and I'm going to answer this question, but I pulled a card for Lightning McQueen. And it says, what the hell are you waiting for? Get that shit done. If you're waiting for a sign, well, here it fucking is. So it just kind of went perfectly with the with this question, or with the question. So questions like this, for me, it's not really an answer that you're going to be able to get from an outside source. Like, it's really something that you have to go inward for, like what resonates with you. You can get ideas and tips on different modalities or different groups or spiritual outlets and things like that. But ultimately, when it comes down to it, we're on our own individual journey, right? So the path that I took, the path that Kat took, the path that Lynda took, they're all different. Just like yours is going to be special and attuned directly to you. So my thing is we have this wonderful thing called the internet, where you have access to all these different things, where you can get little kind of snippets of. You can get an idea of what is this about, which one resonates to you, right? Now, if you're looking for, or if you're asking, no, it's hard to answer. It's just hard to answer, and this is not. I'm just answering the question as Jason. It's a tough one to kind of point someone in the right direction, when it really should be an individual journey, because I don't want you to be copycat of Jason. We don't. You need to be you, and you need to find your own way. So I know it's not the answer that you're looking for, but according to this card, right? Like, here's your sign. So whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're looking into, that's really what I would follow for you.
And Jason said so eloquently what I'm about to say. So I did pull cards, and the first one is intuition. So it feels to me like you're not trusting what you're getting, that you're not actually either paying attention to it. Sometimes it's just a matter of attention, of where having your attention and having the intention to listen and to be in observation, so that you pick up those signs. And then you've got to trust that you're getting that, and you can play with it to see. So for me, that was a big part of it, was play. The second part is I have upside down, which in this card deck is spiritual union. And what it is it's two people at the third eye connecting, and there's a leaf of growth above it. And when something comes in upside down, for me, it just means more attention. So you may want to find a partner to play with, to ping, to practice with, just so that you build up that trust in your own intuition. And the last one, again, upside down, is accelerated motion. That's not going to happen until you actually do something. So again, it's doing it. The accelerated motion that you're seeking is dependent on you taking action. That's all it is. Being willing to step out of your comfort zone and take action.
Awesome. Thank you. Is it okay for me to hop in, Lynda? You feel complete?
Done.
Okay. So this is the card that I got. And so, yeah, I mean, we come in here as a triad, the three of us. And so there's a mirror in terms of what Jason and Miss Lynda have said. And what I'm getting is that you're deflecting the possibilities. Is that something will come to you and you'll be like, oh, that's not for me though. Like there's something where you don't want to accept the power. You don't want to accept the anything that comes out of, stepping out of who you were and into the unknown. And following your spiritual path means stepping out of who you were. You can't go into the future and be who you were, right? And so it means loss, it means change, it means transition, it means excitement, it means freedom, it means it's all of this stuff. But it can feel very out of control. So you have to be willing to step up and say, I'm worthy of these opportunities that are coming my way. If someone asks me if I want to talk on their podcast, if somebody asks me if I would give them a reading, if somebody asks me anything, I'm going to start saying yes. I'm going to say yes to opportunities. Unless my gut says no, I'm going to start saying yes to things that show up on my path, because they're showing me that you are deflecting. That's not how I normally read this card at all, but they're showing me that you're deflecting the possibility, because you're saying, oh, I'm not ready, or like you're the one deflating yourself. And like Lynda says, you have to take action. So when action presents itself, say yes. Say yes, I'm going to try it. It sounds awkward. It sounds weird. Like today we struggled through our tech motion, but our tech issues, but we didn't stop our movement. We carried all the way through. Here we are. So show up. If it's awkward, it's okay. Just take the adventure, take the journey, and don't stress out. Let yourself be in the unknown and experience something for the first time. Give yourself that freedom and that fear, and go through the fear and find who you truly are. All right, that's my 2 cents. Thanks.
And I'm going to add something too. There are a lot of resources. There's tons of books out there. I know when I first started, like I was reading anything and everything that, like, I basically lived in the New Age section at Books A Million in Alabama, right? So it was only this big, but we had one, and I mean, I was 3 books a week. Like I just could not stop absorbing the information. There's tons of different classes, so whatever it is that you're interested in, there's a class out there for it. If you're financially able to do that. The only thing that I see, or the biggest hurdle that I see when people, especially people that pay money to go to these classes or take these classes, and again, there are some great teachers out there, is that they end up paying this money and then they don't participate because they're shy, or they're afraid to get the answer wrong. So they can help teach you the steps, just like the books can. They can help explain and teach you steps to take, protocols. But if you're not putting it into practice, then you just wasted, the money. So if you really are ready to commit in furthering whatever goal it is that you're trying to reach, active participation is the key. Lynda talked about getting a buddy. I would take that even one step further and say, join a group and get a buddy that you don't know. That way you're not going to question the information, right? It's not going to be did I already know this? Am I remembering this? And then on the woo-woo side, I'm going to say this. I keep seeing this. This has got to be a guide of some sort, because they keep talking about Kuan Yin, and I know the name, but I'm not really super familiar. But I keep seeing this Asian woman. It almost looks like a geisha, almost like the jet black hair pulled back with the bun, the white face paint. I feel like whoever she is to you, like it's not a family member. Like this is an energy. It does feel like she is like just waiting, like knocking, like I'm ready when you are. So I hope that helps.
Thank you, Jason. Do we feel good to move forward?
Yes.
All right.
So the next is Buddha Betty. Are there any messages meant for me that I'm not hearing with my own intuition?
Betty, hey Betty, shout out. She had me on our podcast a couple of weeks back. So thanks for being here with us today, Betty. Love you. She's amazing. She has a podcast with Ions. We'll talk later.
Yeah.
Oh, I watched that.
Okay, so Betty, I already did some cards, and I'm really getting that you've got some momentum behind you. I've got positive movement forward, and so you are creating. I'm hearing you're creating that which you seek, and so that would make a lot of sense because the second card that I pulled is authority. And so remembering that part of what you're thinking and doing requires a balance of the intuitive, soft, feminine self and the masculine self that is taking care of business, right? The one that is dealing with the technical issues, the one that is doing the things that you really probably don't like to do as much, but calling on that authority, scratch authoritarian. We've got too much of that in this society. So, but the part of you that is the problem solver, the part of you that is more logical and less intuitive, So creating that balance. When I work with people, I talk about intuition, emotion, and your thinking mind. And so keeping those in balance is really important. Making sure that you use all those skills. And then once again, following your intuition. That's the biggest. When you have those decisions, let the intuition lead you. Remember, it's knowing the what, the how's going to follow, and the how also will require you to do a little of the masculine skills of logic. And I know that that's kind of a male logic, female emotion, intuition. It's just the way we're wired. It's energy, not sex. Remember that. So that is what I have to say. Next.
What was the question again, if you don't mind?
Sure. So Buddha Betty asks, are there any messages meant for me that I'm not hearing with my own intuition?
So do you want to hop in, Jason, or do you?
You look ready. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So I'll share the picture first. I'm going to do a kind of a zoom up so you can see all of it because it's so pretty and it's intense. So I see this, you're the one who's going through the waves, and it's so beautiful and deep and rich. And so here's the thing, there's this other card too. I'm gonna show you this other card because these are like sister cards. So they want me to show you this first, or I can start to talk about it. Okay. So I'm going to talk about these cards in concert because they want me to see these as a panel. And this actually goes over here. And so what they're telling me is that you've moved from the woman who was drowning into the woman who's now saving other people. And there's this big dark body, and you and I have talked about the dark goddesses before, like Medusa, who are your allies. And there's this deep womb space that they're showing me with your intuition and your creativity, and it comes back to your sacral chakra. And what I just hear is that you can trust it. And there are some times when things happen that scare you and they show up like, oh, this is a giant hand coming out of the water. It's gonna grab. Oh, that's my hand. Oh, that thing that just startled me. I'm doing that in my own life. I'm navigating this. The monsters that have shown up in my life are my allies now as I show up for other women and other people. And as I teach them to traverse their own monsters, you're cutting a new path for other women as well as what they're telling me. And so it's so sweet because this arm that shows up like a monster, she's got this sweet, serene face and she's so peaceful. So it's like, do you trust yourself? Do you trust yourself? Oh, do you trust yourself now? Okay, trust yourself. Just trust yourself now. You got this, queen. It's like literally, you got this, queen. So, there's all this energy coming through. I'm not going to cry in the coffee shop. So, yeah, I'll say that you're doing right on. The monsters that show up to scare you are coming from your own hand to see if you trust yourself. All right, that's what I got.
I'm going to show you the card that I pulled. Again, these cards contain language, but I'm going to read the one that I pulled for you, okay? This is supposed to be kind of funny. It says, step away from the crazy-making diet for a hot second. Kale and spirulina taste like ass. Eat some yummy shit, bacon, chocolate, beer, get some. Treat yourself, right? But I'm not really sure how this all connects, but like anytime I hear Betty, it reminds me of my grandmother. It was my grandmother's name. So it immediately takes me to this grandmother energy, but it feels like there's this grandmother energy that has two sisters. Like there's a reference to this grandmother energy, but it's like there's a point of making, I'm the one with the two sisters. Like it differentiates her from the other. And then I also wrote down, it feels like there's a I don't know if it's the grandmother energy or the two sisters, if that makes sense, but they're pointing an arrow down and they're referencing Frank or Frankie, and it feels like there's a junior. So I don't know if that's Frank Jr. Or if the junior is different than the F name, but there's an FR like Frank, Frankie, and then there's a reference to the junior that I want to bring up for you. And then they gave me a date range of like June, like 9. It's either, I have 3 dates written down. I have the 9th and the 19th. I know there's a 9 in there somewhere, but then they put from the 19th through the 22nd. So it feels like there's multiple dates of significance in June, like the almost like the late middle part of June that I want to reference for you. Other than that, yeah, eat a cheeseburger, eat some bacon, some chocolate, drink a beer, treat yourself, right?
Cinnamon roll, do it. Cinnamon roll and espresso. Yeah. Okay, Miss Lynda, thank you, Betty. Love you so freaking much. Miss Lynda. Oh, you're muted, love.
Let's try that again. Carrie, I will get to yours. I skipped yours and already pulled cards for Charlene Williams. So we'll do hers next and then we'll back up. So this is Charlene Williams. I would love to receive guidance on the direction I should turn or pathway. Whoops, hang on, just scroll down. Or pathway, what area should I be concentrating on? And I already pulled cards, so I'll start. So Charlene, you already know, you're just not listening to it. Every one of you, by the way, has gotten this card. There's something that is, I just feel this constant, like nipping, nagging, this like thing you keep getting, but it's like, I don't want to hear that. And the next card is obstacle and challenge. Like, I don't want to hear that because it might be hard. It might be hard. I might have to take a leap of faith or a step across a cavern I really am afraid to take. And that fear comes from an emotional loss. There's something you're afraid of losing if you follow the guidance that you're ignoring. So that becomes a choice. You can choose to continue to ignore it. There's no right or wrong. Life will just get louder if you continue until you choose that the pain is more than the discomfort of making the change. So sit carefully with what you're hearing and be an observation of those little things that prick at you that don't feel that comfortable, and sit with the emotions that come with that and look at your options. Look at what is holding you back from making that decision. Okay, I'm done.
Jason, are you good? Or
yeah, I can go. The very first thing that I wrote down right after the question was home. So whatever that means. Home, I don't know if that means like the actual home or home life. I got 2 cards for you because one of them kind of fell out and I pulled another one. So the first one says, stop texting, stop stalking, stop checking on that person, just fucking stop. Spend your time on someone worth it. Don't waste it on ridiculousness. And then there are actually some good cards in here. And the second one is one. So this is the money. It's just a bunch of money signs and it says, make it rain on the back. So, I mean, according to that, it looks like there's maybe financial opportunity coming up. But with your question, it was very specific to home. So again, I don't know if that means home life or the actual physical home. But then that first card obviously looks like there's someone that we're putting energy into that's not necessarily reciprocating it back to us. So that could tie into the home structure or that home life thing. So that's where I would focus my attention at the moment.
Okay. Thank you, Jason and Miss Lynda. So what they're showing me here is a card that I would get a lot. And you are in this journey too now, my friend. And Charlene, I worked with you. And so you are on an awakening journey. So this is the card that we drew for you first. Now, if that doesn't say, hey, look at me, I might be your Kundalini, I might be your power, I might be something that looks scary, but I belong to you. Are you afraid of your power? Are you going to embrace your power? What's your power look like right now? It's going to be connected to your sacral chakra. It's going to be connected to your legs, connecting to the earth, and you not having an excuse to resist your power, resist who you are, resist what's calling you anymore. Again, I think that, mirroring some of what Lynda was saying, like the thing that you are afraid of is probably the thing you need to go and do. So, I mean, I can tell you as a hallmark of my experience, it's like, oh, you're afraid of that? Okay, let's go do it. And it really does open and transform you. But here's another image of this. And this is the one that we just pulled for Betty. It's that same image of you're scaring yourself, but you're also guiding yourself. So the things that you are saying, oh no, what about that? I don't know if I could do that. Oh, I probably can't go do that thing. And they were telling me earlier that there's an identity you've held on to for a long time that has had a bar of resentment against your chest. And they're saying you can't go forward with the bar of resentment. And so whatever you have to grieve to get through that, the loss of whatever you didn't have and what you didn't get that you needed, you have got to be willing to let go of the old identity in order to become the new person. And again, there's these echoes of the messages are coming through because there's, as a collective, we're going through these awakenings. And so we're mirroring this in each other, and we're all experiencing this together in our own ways. So I know we've all been on huge journeys lately. So you are being called to say you're the one scaring yourself. Me not bringing my laptop today was me scaring myself so I could get through a tech fear of like, oh no, what do I do now? Like there are these great things and other beneficial things. It's not just one little thing. There's other things that get to happen with that. And so don't worry about how it looks, just go do it. Do not worry about how it looks, just go do it. My guides will tell me consistently momentum over perfection, because perfection will stop you up and momentum is the experience that you're wanting to have now. And I think that is what they want to say. And to trust your heart, like trust your heart. The bar of okay, this is it. Okay, this is the last thing I want to say. The bar of resentment that has been over your heart, that's been kind of formed into an identity. How do you follow a heart that has a bar over it, that's imprisoned with resentment? How do you follow a heart that can't breathe because you haven't freed it from that resentment? As you walk yourself through all of those emotions and own your power, because your emotions are holding your power. As you feel your emotions, you'll own your power. You'll come through and you'll have a reconnection with your truest, most authentic self. And that is how that bar of resentment is healed. And the heart can be followed because it's no longer tied to the past. It trusts the moment that it's in now. Okay. And with that, thank you.
Fabulous. Okay, now we're back to Carrie C. My question, does Spirit have a message for me or for the group? Thank you. And I've
What was that name again?
Carrie.
Carrie.
C-A-R-I-E.
Thank you, love.
Carrie C. So Carrie C. Yeah, it has a message. So the first one I got is universe. I mean, this is you being so connected. Like this is all of the work you've done through your life is coming to fruition. It is here. You keep waiting for it. It is here. You're connected. And the second card is a spiritual strength. The physical Buddha, or the physical monk, and the Buddha holding up the ceiling, or connection. For me, it's the connection. So this is me recognizing, or this is the universe recognizing all the work you have put in to being where you are now, and the action of holding that space for you. That space is being held for you at a spiritual level because of all of that you have put into this, and it's time. And the last one is wisdom. And what I was getting, this is usually a teacher comes into your path, but it also can mean the time when the student becomes the teacher. And so for me, I actually got that the teacher that I was picking up is not in this side. It's not in this realm. And through your actual work, you are receiving the teachings that you need because you have moved into that next step. You just don't know it yet.
Yeah. Jason, or do you want?
Go for it.
All right. I will say, here, Miss Lynda. The cards I picked really reflect everything that our Lynda friend just said. So I'll do this here. And to me, again, Lynda just said something about you coming through. I'll just say what I'm doing. So they're telling me that, like, yeah, you've done the work, and like, what do you choose now? Like, what do you choose now? And I think that as somebody who's so service oriented, you're like, how can I serve? And they're saying, what do you choose? Like, they are wanting you to be the creative one. And I echo what Lynda said, where it's like the student becomes the teacher. Like, you've done it now, honey. You've done it. And they want you to decide what you do with your wisdom and how you show up. And they want you to start to, like, you've been of service your whole life. I feel like the last 20 years have been really devoted to service. And they're saying, so, you've got the awards and the accolades in terms of all of these things that you've done for yourself and for others. Now, how would you like to form it? They will work with you on it, but they want you to take first steps because they want you to honor what you've done and say, yeah, I am worth creating for. I am worth establishing for. I'm worth building something for. I'm worth, exploring, experimenting, and finding out, what do I want to do with all of these things I've achieved and learned. And then the other card that came in, which I think is, I'll choose a little. There's a little bit of a glare, but I think you can say it. That's upside down. So normally it would look like this. But it came in upside down. And to me, it came in upside down because, again, it feels like there's a birth going on. It feels like it is time for you to trust yourself, and it's time for you to know that, like, your higher self, like, this is your higher self up here is birthing you, is birthing your mission. So, like, all of this is connected. It's all you. So you can trust it. Let it come through you. You're already so beautiful. And I mean, honestly, so, I'm a gay man, but I will say that this does look like a birth canal. Because it might be a birth canal. So it's time to come through, or you have come through. So you've done it. You are now in this position where you can birth what you want to do. So trust your beautiful heart and do it, and have fun and explore, and don't get it right. Whatever you do, don't get it right. Make sure you make a lot of mistakes and have a great time doing it on the way. That's how this podcast exists. Today, case in point.
Okay, and then I pulled a card also, and it says, "You're the shit. Don't forget it." To kind of acknowledge and piggyback off of Lynda and Kat. But I do have a second kind of thing that I just kind of wanted to bring up. They kind of gave me two analogies. They gave me the analogy of, you have to put your mask on first, like when you're on an airplane, and they're like, put your mask on first before putting the mask on someone else. And then they showed me, like, someone taking off, like, like someone carrying all these backpacks, right? And then taking these backpacks off because they don't belong to you. They're belonging to other people. It's like a weight off the shoulder type thing. So it almost very much is not a warning, but a reminder, right? Of not allowing people in your life to kind of drain you, taking care of yourself first. A lot of times when you are, Kat said you've been of service to others for 20 plus years, and when you're in those roles to where you're so used to freely giving of yourself, it's very easy to not realize that you're giving more than what is being given back. So it's reevaluate kind of that perspective of relationships around you, the people around you. And is it time that I need to take this backpack off because this is not my responsibility, right? Like they need to carry their own weight type of deal. So it's just really about setting personal boundaries, which doesn't mean that you still can't be of service to others, but how are you going to continue to do that if you're not in service of yourself first? So just be mindful of personal and energetic boundaries with the people that are around you. They may not even realize that they're doing it. Like that doesn't have to be always this malicious type thing. They may not even be aware, but reevaluate your boundaries.
Perfect. Thank you. And also, we don't have our links on this one, but if you go anywhere on our YouTube page and you want to check out our links, they'll be there. I will get that on this video later today. But yeah, we have a coffee or a Ko-Fi if you want to help the show and help just help out, support what we do as we support you. You're welcome to donate some coffee, love, money our way. But with that, Ms. Lynda, I imagine you have got another person that has asked a question.
Yeah, we have more questions, and this one is from Monkey O'Joy. Can't be really specific with a question. If anything comes through for me, then I'll take whatever and however. And I added, tell me what I need to know that's in my highest good. Okay, so we were chatting about that on the side. I told him I always drive you nuts because that's usually what I ask. What do I need to know that I already know that I don't know I know that I need to know right now? That's my go-to question.
That's a little bit of supercalifragilisticexpialidocious right there. But I wanted to say hello to Monkey because Monkey has recently joined our Facebook group. Again, our links are not down below, but I think maybe at some point we'll be able to pop those into the live stream. But Monkey, welcome to today's live stream, and thanks for joining the group. You've just been such a joy to connect with on Facebook, so thank you.
Okay, so I may come back with more on this because I didn't have as much time to tie into everything, and I think that there's something further. If it comes up, Monkey, I will message you in Facebook if something else comes up with this, okay? So the first thing I got is that there feels like an external person or opportunity that's a temptation for you, very materialistic, worldly thing. So sometimes when we're on our path, these obstacles or these temptations, because they can be either one, come up and it's like being offered something to see if you really want where you're going. That's usually what it comes into. So I won't say that it's necessarily negative. It is us looking at what are these temptations and being in observation of it. But I really feel like it feels like a man is part of this, and that it is, I want to say, work related. Like there is something there, but there's also, I would be cautious because I also got the conflict and defeat. And so really be clear if there is an opportunity that's being presented to you, that you have done your due diligence before you say yes, because there's something there that needs to be dug into more that you're not aware of. Okay. And just remember, if you have, no matter what you choose, it's part of your journey, it's part of your path forward, right? Sometimes we take the hard path to open ourselves up to everything that we can be. It's part of who we are in this journey. So if something like this is happening or going to happen, breathe. I keep hearing this: breathe, be still. Remember that you are this incredible being on this planet having a physical experience, and be sure that you just keep that within you for stability. Do grounding, go inward, and you'll come out fine, no matter what you choose. But be aware that there are some temptations there that may not be for your highest good. Next.
Is it okay for me to hop in, Jason?
Yeah.
All right. So the information that's really coming through is you are not the trauma that you have survived. And they know that you have survived it, and you survived it with such grace and such integrity. It feels to me that there's part of you that still wears it, and there's part of you that still almost holds on to scarcity as a way of living safely in the world, because if you don't have much, then not much can be taken away from you. And so they are inviting you to start playing with the phoenix fire that you've been twirling between your fingers for the last few years. So here's somebody, if we look at, let's go this way. Look at the past. This person's wearing this what they've experienced on their coat. It kind of looks like cement, like it's hardened on them. But then here's this beautiful flame that's in front as they warm their face and they can see their path. They can start to see their power. And as they remember their power, they forget about the past, or the past just takes care of itself, because the phoenix in you is wanting to guide you now and show you things that are unexpected about yourself. And they're also talking about a twin flame. I didn't know what this card was, but they just said twin flame. So I'm going to put this up here. And they are saying that oftentimes twin flames can teach you about your shadow. And so look into your shadow closely. So if there's somebody showing up with your shadow right now, look into them deeply. And even as you're peering into the light, notice the darkness they bring as well, because you can learn from the darkness without having to make it your own. So if there's somebody who's enticing you to play in their darkness and get lost in their darkness for a while, know that you can witness what's happening and honor it and see it, but you don't have to say yes to it. You can still respect it and walk away as you. So don't get lost in anyone else's darkness just because you're a being of light and you think you can help them and guide them, and somehow they can work, and maybe they're really sexy, and whatever's going on, like, just give them some free space so that way you can see that they're a twin flame, but you're your shadow. They're here to teach you something. Like you don't want to marry the wicked witch of the West, right? She's your shadow. She's got something to teach you. She's valuable, but she's not somebody that you want to like mac on, right? All right. So even if they show up as Glenda, they're really not. But okay, that's what I got. Thank you.
But the wicked witches are the best in bed.
Exactly. That's why they're so enticing.
Okay, I have a couple of things. I did pull a card, and I'm gonna tell you. I'll show you the card in a minute. But as Kat and Lynda are talking, like, I kept getting this feeling of like this dissolving, right? Like there's this, whether this is a relationship with someone or not, because I also did write down the letter D, but it's like this this issue, this thing is in the state of dissolving, right? Like it's slowly, like we're finishing it. It's coming to the end of something. And like there's this dissolving issue, and that can play, when things are ending, whether regardless of what it is, whether it's relationships, jobs, whatever, but like when there's an ending to certain relationships or whatever you want to call it, a lot of times we don't give ourselves the care that we need when it's happening, right? So I'm going to tie that into this card, and again, these are just for fun. It says, you look like a shit show. You're a hot mess. Clean yourself up. So if we're going through these issues where things are dissolving, right, we don't necessarily take the best care of ourselves. So this is a reminder of, like, if you're down in the dumps about something, if you're struggling, as hard as it can be, sometimes the best thing to do is put on your Sunday best, take the time to do your hair, get your nails done, whatever the case is, to make yourself feel good, right? Like when we look good, we feel good. When we feel good, it opens up the world of possibilities. I also did write down art. So I don't know if you're an artist, but it looks like that is a way to kind of work with this dissolving issue, whatever it is, where that means we're channeling the energy that we are putting into and we're focusing on into an art way to describe ourselves. They really sound like art therapy, to be honest with you. So that may be a way to kind of help navigate some of these changes. And then on a galactic scale, I'm not sure if you have a fascination with mermaids or not, but I wrote down water planet. It feels like it's a soul connection or a galactic connection for you, like this aquatic type. I'm not talking about like Ariel, these beautiful busty women from the waist up, fishtail from the mermaids. They don't look like that. But these aquatic type beings and water planet, feels like you've had several different lifetimes in that kind of energy matrix, if that's what we want to call it. So I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense.
Thank you, Jason. Hey, Jason, I was real quick. I was going to ask, maybe would you just slap me down at one of your bitchy cards and see what it says?
You want one?
I want a quick bitch slap. Give me one.
It says, take a fucking trip, go see some shit, do new things, talk to people cooler than you.
I love that. I don't know if there are people cooler than me, but I will try to find them. If I can find them, I will talk to them. It'll be hard. It's you two. You two are cooler than me. I'm doing it right now. That was awesome.
I'm not sure. I'm kind of thinking that you guys just called me a wicked witch at some point in that conversation while I was totally into channeling something else. Maybe I misheard you.
I said, do you want to sleep with a wicked witch? And I said, apparently Lynda, you're identifying as a wicked witch who wants a little.
Me too, Lynda.
I
identify as a wicked witch also. Lynda on the streets, wicked witch in the sheets.
That's right. Wicked witches have more fun. Okay. On that, Jason, I need a card too. With that one, come on, man.
All right, it says, have you eaten? You're acting like a big ass baby. You need food in your belly. Eat a fucking taco.
Oh man.
Did you not have breakfast, Lynda?
Yeah, but I never have breakfast. So
well, if you need to get a snack at some point.
Eat it start at noon. So I got my coffee, but you're right, I barely had my coffee. So
go, take care of yourself.
Right. Yeah. So okay. With that, Ms. Jillian is with us. Woo-hoo. So Jillian Leonard asked, I recently had a doorkeeper guide come through regarding ETs. Any insight on this? So fun to see you guys doing this. Thank you, Jillian. So I had this image when you said doorkeeper guide. I had this image of a doorman opening cosmic doors for you. And so when I was pulling the guides, this is like you being offered all this incredible opportunity to just go where you want to go. And the only thing they're waiting for, it's a mental conflict of you making the decision of what you want. So it was, I heard decide, right? So I think it's, and there's not just one decision. So I think that just is a waiting for you to make that decision of where you want to play. And this is the more getting out of the logical side of you and staying in the very intuitive side of you for this process to move forward. And that's what they're asking for, is for you to just, Jillian, for you to just be you. Okay, let's just be honest. All right, so that's what I'm getting. Next.
Jason, or should I jump in?
I'll
go.
go. Okay, so the card that I got, it says stop talking. It says shut your mouth and listen. But then I don't know if that's in relation to the doorkeeper guy. He's like, just listen to me. So I get when you said doorkeeper, mine is sitting in my lap. Like Mona, one of my cats, like I always called her my doorkeeper. Like energetically. There's this sense of, I got a couple of things. So in regards to the doorkeeper energy, it feels tall, like physically tall, like 8 feet, but almost giant, like is kind of the feel that it gives me. It doesn't give me this feel of like mantis or gray or human. It just is this energy, but it's this tall, it's very, I don't know how to describe that, very gladiator type. Like if I was gonna put a shape to it, I feel like I've got this like this armor on, but it's not quite angelic. It's not this angelic energy. I'm not sure how to describe it. But I also wrote down astral ship visits. It feels like there's this traveling that you're doing in the astral where you're going to a ship that is somewhere around, like hovering around the earth currently, like a physical ship, but you're going there energetically. I'm in this room. It's this all white, kind of concave. Like the walls aren't like straight walls. They're kind of this curvature. And there's what looks like almost like a like a lounge chair, like you would sit at in the pool or by the pool. It's like that, but it's white also. And then they said harvest or donor. I'm sorry, my cat is, I don't want to pull my earbuds off. It almost feels like there's this, this isn't supposed to be a scary thing, but it almost feels like there's this egg donation type thing going on that you agreed upon prior to getting here. And that's what those astral visits are, because it's almost like a doctor's office. They're removing eggs or something. And then I'm like, well, if she's astrally traveling there, how are you, if the physical body's still here, how are you doing that? And they said it's something like getting the energy construct of the egg, and then they're able to, because their technology advanced, right? Like they're able to take that energy of the egg and then physically turn it into the physical embodiment that they need, or they do something with it energetically and then it turns into this physical thing. But there's this astral travel visit thing, and like almost like a hybrid program. Like you're the surrogate, you're donating the eggs for them, who I'm not sure who they are, to be totally honest with you, but that's the energy that I was picking up on.
This is remarkable. Jason, you're going to poop yourself when I show you this card. But first, I'm going to start from the beginning. Wow. So Jillian, yeah, I mean, I definitely connect with you. Have I want to say a twin self on a ship who is like Zeta Mantis. She feels almost like a grasshopper. Like I feel her energy with you. She's hybrid, but she almost feels like your sister in a way. I felt this zing with her and you, and also your Kundalini awakening, and like how it felt like she was holding space for you at that time. And that she shows up in a myriad of ways, though. She has more than one way that she can appear, but I just feel her, I feel a sister connection with her. And also with Evelyn. So I'm getting chills. Like Evelyn's part of this, because this card, came up and I was like, oh my God, that is Evelyn. Your daughter, like she's so like just this love rainbow pouring out of her. She's so creative and she's so free. And so I like, and Evelyn's got such a personality. Like she's got like this pictures that you share on Facebook, in our Facebook group, our pictures on Facebook. She's so she's just her own person. You know what I mean? She's free and she's independent and she's interested in her life. Like she's exploring her life. And there's something about in that simplicity where it feels like you're now giving yourself your life. Like you're finally giving yourself your life. You're no longer waiting for it. You're doing it. And there's a celebration going on. So like Lynda was saying, Lynda was talking, I feel like on this too, just lean into it. Lean into the celebration that's happening. All these doors are flying open. It's great. Just enjoy that. And now here's the other card. There's just a lot of energy coming in with this card. So I will do a little slow reveal here. So here we have the higher being coming in. And there we have the person with, what is that in their hand? Oh, that looks like light codes coming from the womb. So it's like there's this, I was getting genetic template as well before Jason had even said that. And then he said that and I was like, oh, that is right. Because I was questioning it. I was like, am I making that up? And then Jason actually went into the whole thing. And deeper than I would have. So yeah, there's this thing of you, again, I feel like it feels like you're providing some sort of a template for them to do then some archetype work. And so then like the mantis are generally the ones who work with the genetics for construction of form. So it feels like there's something that's going on where they're able to take your template as a human woman that has these already, mantis genetics activated in you, and then do some other template building off of that is my sense of it, if that makes sense. And if it doesn't, if that's just how I'm seeing it, and that's my perception, someone else may see it another way completely, but that's what I'm getting, is that you're providing a template. And they're really, yeah. And so, Jason, how did you describe that guardian? How did you say they looked?
Just very like tall, and if I had to put a physical form to it, all I see is like this armor, like a Roman, like a gladiator. You know how they wear like the gold or the brass plate, like.
Did you say they were white? They're like a tall white being?
And I didn't have a classification.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then I made that up. Never mind that then. All right. So this to me looks like the guide, and that looks like you. Like there's this like love affair happening where it feels like this gatekeeper that you're connecting with feels almost like a grandfather figure. Where gosh, there's also a Native American energy with this, right? You're in Canada, so it'd be like Native Canadian energy with this, where it feels like this is connected through your Sean Leonard. There's an energy coming through him as a guide. I was reading this card wrong. Okay, shift. This is about Sean Leonard. Okay. Oh my gosh, they're saying something about you and him doing a little side project, and I don't know if it's something that you're able to support him in, but there's so much love and affection. There's so much love and affection between you two. Like having him on your show and talking about, and maybe you already have, but there's some connection between you two. And the indigenous path, like Wicca and the indigenous path and you have an energy flow. There's like something with earth magic and you that is for you to get connected into. And it's not, it's not separate from your ET aspect, because it's all the same thing. It's all part of the earth. It's part of Gaia. It's part of source, but they're saying that if you wanted to, in your investigations, in your psychic investigations that you do, like ghost helpings, not huntings, but ghost, ghost helpings, as you went and did those sort of investigations, you could pull upon this indigenous medicine and work with spirits and actually work to open portals and guide them through. There's this huge lineage of energy that actually wants to come through you, and you have like the blessings of these people because of your connection with Sean. Like the heart connection with theirs kind of like put an arm around you to bring you into this discipline and into this privilege. Or yeah, it is a privilege. It's an honor. It's an honor. And yeah, so if you lean into that, there's a welcoming for you. And is this connected to her guardian? I feel like this is happening simultaneously. There are many doors, like Lynda's saying, there's many doors opening at once. Little kid. There are many doors opening up at once, and this is just one more of them. So that's really powerful. If you want to talk more later, Jillian, just let me know. I'd love to have Zoom. Hi. Thank you.
And I'm going to add this onto the end too, because they show me the image of, like the image of the angel with the trumpet. I'm not sure which one that
Gabriel?
is.
Gabriel.
Yeah, okay, that feels right.
Archangel Gabriel.
But they're showing me the image of like this trumpet, right, with making this announcement. And I really feel like it ties into Jillian, into your mediumship abilities. It feels like they are about to, like, more so than they have already, like about to shoot up. Like I feel like sometimes we get when we start using it and like it's new to us, as soon as we get comfortable with it, it's like every day, all day, you're going to start having these interactions and these moments and these opportunities to kind of share, whether that's just out and about or if you're going on these like the little ghost searching things. Like it just really feels like, and even if you're just using it for your own personal self, right? Just because you get a message for someone, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to share it, but it just feels like it's about to, like you're fixing to hit this major up ramp. And that may eventually level back out, but like I would say probably really the next 3 to 4 weeks, it just feels like energetically they're raising your vibration, and those instances and those moments are going to start happening more frequently. So trust in the moment. And don't be afraid if you choose to. Don't be afraid to share, so you can get the validation, which is going to help strengthen your own confidence, right, when these moments happen.
Okay, I'm on low power mode. What time do we have?
Plug in, baby, plug in.
I can't plug in and have the headphones in at the same time. It's either one or the other. What are we at time?
It's 10:43 my time. So we got about 15 minutes, and I've got 2 more questions.
Great, we should be good.
I
think we should be good. If I disappear, are you still the co-host, Miss Lynda? Did I
think
make sure?
I don't know.
I'll make you co-host. In case I
sure
disappear, you can keep doing it.
Maybe I can. Oh, yeah, you have to do it. Okay, while he's doing that, I'm going to go with the next question so that we make sure we get enough for everybody. And I just lost it. Okay, Denise's journey. Can I get any kind of guidance or messages? Things have been a little challenging this past year. And yeah, I pulled up some cards for you, Denise. The first one is your base root chakra. Excuse me, making sure there's some blockages there. It feels like past traumas, anxiety might be coming in. Like there's an echo, something's happening enough that it has triggered some of the past tape that lines in our head, of past injury that needs healed. And oftentimes that comes through relations, and that can be with people, with organizations. Just remember that those relations are reflections back for you for discovering more about yourself. So Kat was always wonderful about telling me, isn't that wonderful that Chris is such a good mirror for you? Ooh, ooh. But he was always right. Like it was always, if I really sat into it and thought about it, he was always right with that. So the relationship is that mirror that's happening. So I just feel a lot of apprehension though from you about relationships in general. And so really delving more into that past that is creating that tape will help. It has felt like absolute disruption. This is like the tower. This is things falling apart. But what I heard with this is things are falling apart so they can fall together. Like my life is falling together, even though it feels like it's being ripped to pieces. It's rebuilding in a new and different way. So sometimes it's necessary to build a new home, you have to knock down the old one. And that's what it feels like has been happening for you. So really making sure that this is part of those lessons that you maybe have not been strong enough in the past to actually touch on, to actually really delve into. And I pulled one more card, and it was exactly what I thought it was. You probably aren't going to be able to do this by yourself. That you want to pull in someone to work with you, whether that be a coach, a counselor, confidant, to help be that sounding board and that to help you maybe look at things in a different way, so that you can break that cycle. And if you hear the tape going over and over again, one of the exercises I really like to do is imagine if that anxiety is coming up, if that, whatever that is that keeps coming up, picture it being a tape in your head, and you cut that tape. You cut that tape. Every time it comes up, you cut that tape so that you can create a new recording. And but in order to get those scissors, you actually have to find out what tape you have to cut, right? So that's my advice. Next.
Lynda, there were so many things, like right as you're talking, like I'm getting these thoughts, and like you're just saying exactly what I'm getting at the same time. Like you were showing the tower card and you were talking about falling apart. Well, I was hearing falling away. It almost feels like I had these two major losses within the last year. These whatever, I'm not sure what that is, but it's just like this sense of like these things are falling away, and there's two major instances that I want to talk about. And then when you were talking about, like, you know, if you have these tapes kind of playing over your head, you know, over and over again in your head, you know, to the exercise of cutting it, like it kind of ties into this card. It says, shame, regret, and guilt, those are bullshit. Forgive yourself and let that shit go. Right. So if those reoccurring thoughts have anything to do with shame, regret, or guilt, they're bullshit thoughts, right? Like, we're human, we're going to have them, but they're not serving you. So it's time to cut it, let it go. It really has been a journey for you, but look, you've come out. Even if you don't feel like you've come out of this on the other end so strong. And I feel like you feel as though it hasn't ended yet, that it's still going. I'm telling you that it is coming to a stop. Like, you are at the end of it. You are crossing the finish line. Like that period of time, that dropping away of, or the losing of energy, like that's done. Like, you've done it. You're getting ready to move into that next shift of the rebirth.
Thank you, Jason. Yep, I mean, here we are. 3 sets of eyes looking at you from all these angles. It seems the same from different mirror points. So I'm going to show the card first. It's a little brutal. In terms, if you really empathically step into that, it feels, you know, we can feel the journey that it's been for you, and the fear and apprehension that shows up in terms of living. To me, it feels like you've had this place of grief where you've been buffeted, kind of like been buffered and buffeted by grief. In some ways, it's kept you cocooned. And the idea of starting to move forward and into forward movement, it's like, oh, but that's where all the pain is. If I move forward, like and I start to really live, I'll be vulnerable and I can experience loss and being cut again. And so it's like you're identifying that your life, the pain that you've experienced is what life is for you if you live. If you recede, then things are safe, but then you get stagnant, there's no movement. And it's like, how do I move? How do I go forward and not experience what I've experienced before? Well, the thing is, you aren't the experience. You aren't the wounds that you've received. And it's interesting because both these cards have exactly the same color palette. They are identical. And Denise, I'll send this to you via Facebook because these cards are so powerful. But here we are, where someone has taken the wound they experienced and they're holding it, and now it's a portal, and she's able to go traverse that. I mean, look at it. It looks like ribs. It looks like this person's on the inside of a body, right? Like this is the inside of your being. The inside of your being is taking the wound that you've encountered and it's making it a portal. And the only way that you can move forward is to make the wound into a portal. You make it into your medicine bag. So it is for you to do. And I feel like there is support for you and it is a journey. But also I want to say, reach out to Lynda Colter-Bergh. I mean, if you want to talk to somebody safely about your emotions and what you're going through and have a session where you can get clear guidance that's so supportive and empathic. And I really would recommend reaching out to her for emotional and spiritual and practical communication with your highest good. So that's going to be my 2 cents. Sorry, Lynda. Back to you, Lynda. I'm gonna put you on the spot.
It's okay. I had a window in front and I couldn't unmute myself. So I was trying to do it on my YouTube window. It wasn't working. So, okay, the next one is a toughie. Don Butler said hello from Michigan. 2 weeks before my grandson was murdered, I heard a voice and saw a vision of him as I saw him in the hospital. Who or what contacted me and how do I stay in touch with that?
What was the name again, Lynda?
First,
The name again, I apologize. Name?
Don Butler.
D-O-N? Male or?
D-A-W-N.
Great, thank you.
B-U-T-L-E-R. So Don, what I got, one is just feeling the shock and the grief, of course. And I heard before I pulled the card that it was you. That this is the card that I pulled. And for me, it was your heart. It was a protection for your heart. Sometimes we when we forget that we're all connected. So we're all one. So I think that this was to help reduce that shock a little bit, to give you a forewarning. And then I got the second one that was the waiting game. And to me, this is you're waiting to have that connection, and time really is not linear as we feel it. You're already connected. You're already connected with your grandson. You're already connected with everything that's happening. It just doesn't feel that way right now. And so being patient with yourself and the last card is shadow. That where there's darkness, there's also light. Where there's lightness, there's also dark. And it is also in embracing both sides of yourself and embracing all of life. And that those emotions that you feel are all incredibly important to recognize, and also to remember to embrace the light through this. You are the one tapping into everything. And yes, I think that you had guides and other things coming into you, but it was you who initiated that connection, that you're the one that brought that information into you, not an external source as much. And I really feel like you're still connected. So with that.
Okay, I'll hop in if that's cool, Jace.
Oh, okay, Kat.
Were you? Or did you want to go, Jace? You don't care.
Yeah,
Just
you
don't
could,
care.
yeah.
All right, so I will show you the first card. So we've seen this card earlier today. And so again, it mirrors to me what Lynda is saying is that this is a gift that you gave to yourself. It's an insight you gave to yourself. But the thing is that you're trying to tell yourself is that you're really psychic. Like it's less important about who that was that showed up. It's more important that you had the experience, because they want you to open up and start doing what you're doing right now. How can I have more of the experiences? But don't get so caught up on who's this and what's that and try to analyze it. Keep leaning in and being open to the experiences, and be willing to open to the mystical, because they tell me that you're a star being. They're like, she's a star being. She's already connected to the stars. She's already psychic. She already has all this. So this is kind of a bit of an initiation. They want you to start acknowledging your abilities and your gifts, and stop playing it down, and realize that who you were in the normie world, that is a thing of the past. As you emerge out into who you are, you're going to start saying things like, I'm a star being, or I'm a star seed, or you're going to be different than who you were before. And to trust your gut, to trust yourself. They're saying you're really strong. They're saying you really have a strong intuition. So they're saying, oh, yeah, and then that connects over here into the Native American. You can speak to the dead if you want. They're saying that you can communicate to the dead. And so if you would like to be a translator and do that sort of work, and to connect to your Native American roots, you are welcome to do that. But to me, it says that if you want to be a translator or somebody who works with the underworld in a really loving, supportive way, carrying on these traditions, I feel like they're more connected to you, maybe in your ancestry, perhaps. But that you have that available to you. Again, like the Star Nations and the Indigenous nations are both really connected, strong to you. So it's more of you giving yourself permission to take your full form than anything else, is what I'm seeing. Thank you.
And so, I mean, the same thing that Kat and Lynda said, when Lynda read the question of, who showed me that, I mean, like a higher self, right? So that kind of validates what Lynda and Kat said, how, you kind of showed yourself that. I don't know if he's the J. I keep hearing this J name. The letter J stands up for me for whatever reason. But I do want to say this too. When you asked about how can you continue to connect, the card, it's a good one. It says laugh. It says, where's your sense of humor? It raises the vibration, right? It makes it easier for us to connect to those energies. But on a side note, I don't know if there's issues around the arrest of the person that did the harm. It almost feels like there's a second one coming up, like it's more than one person. So I don't know if two people have been arrested, but it feels like, because they're showing me like they're doing like this, like there's this period of time, and like, oh, now we got this other person. Like there's this other person that's going to kind of be brought to justice for the crimes committed. It feels like two men, but it feels like there's two men involved, but there's a separation, like there's distance in between the two arrests. Like two people they're not arrested at the same time. So if a second person hasn't already been, I feel like they know, I feel like they're looking. If a second person hasn't already been arrested for, then they are on the radar of the police, and a second arrest is like right around the corner because they're circling it. That made my stomach hurt.
All right. Hey, Jason, if you want, you could say to yourself, is this mine? Is this mine, to that pain in your tummy?
Yeah, and I knew it wasn't.
And move it on out.
Yeah,
I know
it was
just to help
with
you.
yeah.
Just because I don't like to see people suffering because I'm an empath. Okay, so I think that wraps us up. Is this where we are at? One more? Oh, okay. One more. Hopefully I'll be here
I
for that.
missed one. I don't know if there's ones after this. I've been going up and down, but I'm going to butcher it. And I did take French, but Bea Fleur asked, I'm a French girl and I have a question. Fell in love with the Sasquatch people because of the voice of one, Neff's voice, Nefadia voice. I have a lot of signs, songs, gifts, I think. Am I going crazy? Is it real? It's important. She says, sorry for this question. Don't be sorry for a question.
She's talking about,
important.
yes, exactly. And she's talking about Mike Patterson's Neff that hangs out in his area. So he's been on our shows. It's kind of cool that she knows about Neff. And so, and what was her name? Oh, just do your best to get his name.
B with a little E-A.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. Thank you, Lynda.
So, okay. So I got we're back to this teacher thing. It feels like you've been seeking some guidance, and that is coming in response. And what I was feeling is that you've been feeling some heartache and loss, and like there was a little bit of not connecting with people. It's almost like you feel like at some level you're connecting more with him than with some of the people that are around you. And it feels really odd because it feels like it's at a different, non-superficial level. That makes sense. And so, yes, ignited passion. So I think that's the questioning that you have. It's a passion for, I keep hearing curiosity and possibility and what if. I keep hearing what if. Like, what if this is true? What if? And what I'm getting is this is his way of tapping into and growing your intuition. And so I hear play. So play with it. Be curious, be an observation. The best way I can give in guidance of wondering if you're losing your mind when you're having these things happen is to pay attention to when they happen, what's going on in your head, what's going on in your heart. Look for other reasons why it could be happening. And if all of those things kind of fall in alignment, you can tell yourself, no, I'm not crazy. This is what it is. Sometimes we do make things up in our head. And so by being an observation and really questioning it from a third person, you're able to see whether or not that's really happening. But what I'm getting is that this is someone stepping in to help you with your intuition. Okay, next.
Yeah, I think there's definitely an attraction to the energy, right? Like she made the point of mentioning that it was the voice. Well, what is a voice? It's a vibration, right? There's a sense of strength. There's a sense of Well, look, I have a Sasquatch God, okay, and I feel like you're very similar in that respect. Like you're connected to the energy of Sasquatch. There's this energy of strength and security. So sometimes when we feel that we may be lacking a certain type of energy in our physical life, we're attracted to that energy, and that when and however it presents itself to us. And it just so happens that it presented itself to you in the form of the Sasquatch being. I do feel like on an energetic level, you have connection to, whether that means you've been one before, you have a Sasquatch God like I do, but they're showing me they're translating the vibration of the voice to a sense of security, to a sense of protection, to a sense of strength. Almost feels like that's something that you feel as though is lacking in your life at the moment. And that's what has kind of drawn your energy and their energy. And I'm saying there because I don't know if it's specific. I'm not going to say it's a specific connection to this one individual Sasquatch being. But the overall energy of Sasquatch is really what you're kind of attracted to do. And the card says shit is about to get real. It says you need your people around you, and who knows, this could be your people, right? It's just that it's happening in this energetic sense. So have fun with it. Use your imagination. Have imaginary conversations. Right?
Yeah. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, I would say that, if you're telepathic, I mean, the way consciousness works, when you're telepathic, and Sasquatch are telepathic, like if you're in their consciousness, if they are in your consciousness, then you're inviting them to have you in their consciousness and to open their awareness to you. That's how telepathy works. That's the way of the future. I got 10% left in battery. Just give me like a warning bell. That was scary. Okay, so here we go. This is the image that I got for you. The first image. And to me, this says, be open to more than just the Sasquatch. I mean, if anything, what I feel is this Arcturian energy coming through, this very tall Arcturian, more celestial energy coming in. And it feels like the Sasquatch are a nice gateway for you to become open to, because they're physical as opposed to being, on a spaceship. So it feels like they're a nice way for you to connect to your greater family, but there's a bigger calling. It feels like there's an alignment. It feels like there's an alignment for you that's doors opening up, and that may go to what Jason's reading in terms of, hold on, let go. Holy shit, something's going to change here. So to me, it feels like it just feels like for you to be in observance. I think Lynda said that too. So stay in observance and stay with it. And, my team would tell me early on, I'd be like, early on, but like within the last 6 months, I'd be saying, I think I'm going crazy. And they'd say, oh, you are? I said, I feel like I'm losing my mind. They're like, you are. I'm like, I'm losing my mind. And they would say, yes, you have to lose your mind in order to get a new one. You can't go forward with the old self. You have to find the new self. So again, it's okay to feel crazy. We've all been there. That's part of the initiation of welcoming your psychic self. And this is the next card that shows up. And to me, this just speaks of a struggle. It feels like you are still trying to live two lives to me. And there's something about like there's almost like a resistance that you're creating within yourself. You feel like you have to get free. And it's like, it's happening. It's like, honey, it's happening. It's happening. You don't have to struggle to make it happen. You can do drama and be like, I'm going to get out of the matrix and like, make it something big. Or you can be like, you know what? I'm getting out of the matrix. It's happening. And for you to realize that you don't have to, the movement's already happening inside of you. The movement's happening within you. It's happening all around you. So go back into observance. Like Lynda said, be with it and have the experience, and don't struggle to make it happen. It's happening. You are in the stream. You are in the river. You are moving with the water. It's already now. And then here's, excuse me, last little kiss on the cheek. Again, there you are with our Sasquatch big brother. And he's like, yeah, of course. He's like, you're welcome. You're welcome to me. So I feel like there's a welcoming energy to that. Let me just tune into that a little bit more. To me, it just feels like a welcoming. There's an understanding of you reaching out to them, and there's an acknowledgement of you, and there's just like there's a kinship already. So as you're warming up to it, they're like, we're already here. Like, you're warming up to it, but we're already here. So it feels like it's an all good with them. It just feels like a very warm, welcoming you into the connection and into the conversation to me. Thanks. So with that, I guess we should probably wrap her up before my phone completely dies. It'd be great to be able to say goodbye to everybody. So thank you, everyone. If we didn't get to your questions, just know that we do this about every 2 months. And also you can reach out to us individually and work with us that way as well. Next week, we are going to actually be doing, we're going to kind of do a Q&A with each other because, you know, Jason has all these experiences that he's not shared on the show before. I want to see if he's open to sharing some of his other extraordinary experiences. Lynda's been going through huge transformation over the last 20 years, but last 2 months it has been really highlighted. As you well know, I've been going through a lot. And so we want to have QA with the audience, but we also wanted to talk about some other topics and open space to our LGBTQ allies and neighborhood and say, you know, part and parcel, what space are we holding for all community as we ascend together in oneness? And we're going to look at that a little bit with a little more depth, a little more compassion. Miss Lynda, did you want to say thanks to all the people that were showing up in the live stream? Oh, you're muted, love.
There we go again. I mute because otherwise you hear me typing as I'm typing to everyone. So thank you everyone for joining us. If you didn't get your question answered, you can message me through Facebook, through our group, and I will do a quick card reading for you and send it back in a message to you if you'd like. So all of you that joined late, feel free to connect and send me a request with your question. And join our Facebook group. We had some great, Dana has answered so lovingly in the question. A lot of you gave support for each other. Love that. That's what this community is about. And we're about that in our Facebook group too. So please go over there and join us if you haven't. Check out, we don't have any links down below because we had to do another one, but you can go to any of our other shows and find all of the links to connect with all of us, to donate if you want to help Kat in this incredible journey of his and in helping keep this running and growing. And also you can listen to us on all of the other ways to listen to podcasts in those links. So be sure you do all of those things. Love that you guys stuck with us through the technical difficulty. And you know, Mercury in retrograde, gotta love it.
Yes. Yes.
You're wonderful. Love you. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thank you, everyone. Jason, do you want to say anything before we hit the magic button?
Have a great day.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you back here next week. We love you so much. Take good care of yourself. Bye.
Bye.